Guys, this is Ugly Old Goat. This is great. This is so relaxing to me. Everybody's learning so much. You got to do this. But you know what? If you're not able to, we're going to have a snowflake tour. But guys, this is what we're doing. We get stuck. We're looking out at after each other. This is what it's all about. All right. It's not just Bitcoin. It's not just trading. Look at this. Don't look at me. Look at where we're at, guys. Look at this. Look at this. You can get wrecked, but you can't get ruined. All right? And we can have a super trip. Everybody's learned. Okay? My daughter's learned, and everybody here has learned a lot of what we have to do this. Away we go. I'm not going to fall in that hole again. I learned my lesson. I got wrecked, but I didn't get ruined, right? Because I had these guys watching my back. Save, build a sound money. Guys, how'd you like those introductions? That's where we're going. We got a new camera here. I think we're at a whole new level. And so Mike just titled this one, what part of biddle do you not understand? No, HODL. What part of HODL don't you understand? Now, they're talking about re-educating all of us people so we start thinking alike. So I got a re-education program. I just got this from my son. And this is, so what part of HODL do you not understand? Now, I can use this as a pointer to teach things, and point this, or I just smack you across the back of your leg or somewhere and you go, what? Is it the H?
Is it the O?
The O? And if you don't, it's amazing how quick you learn with a little pain. And of course, I'm all for bringing back corporal punishment. I don't want to just give me a good whipping, and don't put me away for 11 years. Okay. Whippings, I understand. And you know what? Give me a good whipping. Next morning, we can be friends again. And I get the message. Whatever happened to that old fashioned way of discipline?
Going out and having a fist fight and drinking a beer.
This baby, oh man, I wish I had this one on my three grown sons. I think he got this because he relishes those old days when I put the old paddle to him. We actually had a paddle. We'd write down the date he got it, and I tried to limit it, but boy, 3 of these. Oh, this is nasty.
That one hurts.
So HODL. What part of that don't you understand, guys? If you hodl Bitcoin, it pays for a lot of mistakes, doesn't it?
It does. It's worth the pain.
All right.
All right, guys.
So we're here. I'm going to do a lot of different things. My members kind of wanted to go, we need to talk about my super gold trade where I'm just getting my little butt killed. This is, oops. What was that? Okay.
That's the coin.
All right.
The other one, the more expensive one.
All right. There too. Got a gold coin. Oh, it fell out somewhere.
I'll be here.
We'll do this first. So am I on this camera now? Is that how I do this?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do it this way. We got this in Bogota, Colombia. And when I saw it, I just had to get it. This is a Bitcoin trader. Right now, it's all the people that followed me in my gold trade. Guys, this is okay. It's okay to get, well, this is a ruin. You don't want to be here.
Well, I got wrecked. I'll put my hands up to that one.
You got wrecked on gold?
Yep. I'm out.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that. That's too, I thought you were going to buy there at 1805.
1805, but as soon as we went down to, I think, 1780, I was gone. But
okay.
I had
that. Okay, and that's one thing that I'm a position trader, and I was not concerned about that. I really wanted to buy more, but I said I can't because I'm already out of position on it.
Yeah, I had 1800 as my pain threshold, and if it went much below, I didn't want it.
And that's the whole thing, guys. Everybody's different, and if you followed me, I mean, you know what my risk is on this thing, and but and the thing that's bailing me out more than anything is just because the price of Bitcoin has gone so much up that it doesn't take as much collateral. So even though I'm in a losing, now I won't make as much either as the thing goes up because Bitcoin's worth so much more. But the one thing I want to kind of emphasize, and it's going on, I mean, what you're seeing with the Michael Saylor situation is exactly what I wrote about, 2 years ago on I forgot what article it was. I think I am saving, but basically, there's two kinds of entrepreneurs in the world right now. And there's those that have Bitcoin and those that do not. And the fundamentals of the market and the structure of the market changed when we hit a new contract highs. Now I had an excellent year. I ran, a fraction of a Bitcoin into 47 Bitcoin last year.
0.6?
0.6 into 47 Bitcoin, but I missed the entire move from 20,000 to 40,000. So it's not that big a deal. You're going to hit some, you're going to lose, but I'm a position trader. I was very comfortable being long all the way up to 20,000. And then I thought we were going to double top and we blew off, but tops are really hard to catch in those breakouts. Now the whole thing is, I don't have a speculative position on. I'm down 2 Bitcoin almost for the year this year, trading Bitcoin, and I'm down another 2 trading gold. So I one of my big positions, and I think again, what you're going to see more and more of is the fundamentals that have changed is that Bitcoin is now going to be able to collateralize you in all kinds of opportunities out there. And it's not going to, whether it be this studio that we're developing, and look at that, guys, that's part of building. Again, what we do is we first hodl. Guys, if you don't have a hodl, you don't need my newsletter. My newsletter is expensive. I'm not coming down on the price because you get all my past history trades from February 4th, 2019. When I started with 2 Bitcoin, I took out 32 the first year and 47 last year. Now, before that, the year before that, I had it on medium and ran 2 into 22. I may not make anything this year, but
I'll add a bit to that and say if people might be asking themselves, like, why do you have to pay that kind of money to get Ugly's history? And if you don't get that, then you don't need it.
Right. You don't need to have if you don't have a hodl, that's where you need to focus.
Right.
That's where you just need to focus. And until you have a comfortable hodl, you shouldn't be trading. And that's just it. And now you can do it in different ways. And the way that I explained it too is my doctor friend here. We gave him a little hodl to start with. He was very pleased. And but he sold a portion of it to buy some equipment, and that equipment he's already scheduled, 3 or 4 surgeries on it. So as he gets paid for these surgeries, he'll be replenishing his HODL. So you don't want to just be. Some of you also probably have this dream of becoming a full-time trader. Hey, it's not worth. I mean, I can do that, but then I decided, no, I really need to be ugly old goat and do things I really like to do. And I mean, I like trading, but it can get really stressful and a big headache. And so when you're not having fun, then you're over trading. So that's now if you're people are concerned, they kind of want me to hold their hand now through the gold trade. I didn't know that you blew out till just now.
I mentioned it yesterday.
Okay. I didn't know that. So no, and I think this thing's reversing very well. If it reverses now, it's really good.
Then I'll be a bit annoyed.
No, yeah, well, that's blowing out of the bottom with a smile. That's typical. That's so you say I have an extra coin here?
Yeah, there was the gold coin was on here.
It was? Oh, I think it's right here. Isn't that it?
No, it's I set it up here.
Oh,
it was falling down.
Oh, well, I need to find it. Yeah, don't take things out of their envelope because both of them are easy to. We're sitting here. I bought a gold coin and he loses it for me already.
Oh, you were the one who threw it away.
I'm collecting my old gold pieces and silver pieces that I made. So I've been I've been a physical buyer. And here is, we had the gold piece. And
we have the gold piece here.
Somewhere it fell down. But here is this. We'll show the silver.
It's on the camera, yeah.
Okay. And we'll do it that way. This is a hardwood. I was able to find a bunch of these. I paid about a 25% premium. I used to sell them at a 5% premium. And these are actually alloyed. It contains an ounce of gold, but I actually alloyed it with the copper. It's the same that the old Morgan dollars were made out of. So it's a very durable coin. It's really hard, and it has all the it's got serrated edges. And at any rate, I am now, one of my recommendations is particularly I meant this to be only for members, but whoever's on public page get it too. I'm collecting these now, guys. So they're hard to find. And I'm paying a premium, but I think they're going to be really worth it. And then I've just bought this book. This is something I wrote way back in when was this published?
I think it was 83.
1983. The new boom in silver, which it didn't. It was completely wrong because it already boomed. This was after but it's Jerome Smith. And in this, I have an article, and which I need to, I could write back then, guys. I can't believe how good this article is. So I just bought this and I did this. Let's see. Yeah, it's called.
And it's a collection of articles, right?
Yeah, it's a collection of articles, but this is this one I wrote. So that's the real me. I am doxing myself now, who I really am. And guys, I screwed up really big time. So, and that's why I have a heart for you guys that, if you're blown out, I did it. And, I didn't mean to commit any kind of fraud and I didn't steal, but I certainly failed in my fiduciary responsibilities, and I take full responsibility for that as much as that's why I was the kingpin, because I didn't let anybody go down with my screw ups. So,
and it's also helped you to become the person you are today, right?
Yes. In fact, wow, all this stuff, I actually outlined the interchangeable coinage. I'm going to have to update my article on Senorage and incorporate this.
Right.
So, because I actually deleted the part on interchangeable coinage, but I will do that because we do need to start addressing what Senorage is, because I think Senorage needs to be addressed in the Bitcoin community. And there's going to be a lot of different views. I personally think that as hodlers, we are now going to be, it's our responsibility, and we are going to be, quote, the new kings. We've been given this responsibility to provide sound cash, and it will be. It is a profitable thing to do. It was a very legitimate way for the Caesar or the king to create an honest money system, and because you're actually creating a useful cash that and there is such a thing as a float, and then you have the worn coin. They just go out of circulation.
I mean, in short, there's monetary functions.
There's a monetary function, and you're getting,
completely-
and they get reward, but it's without taxation, and they're providing a service.
Right.
So that's the whole key. And now we're not going to be in that area. It's going to be exactly the opposite. We already see that article now where, without even, now we have that Bank Secrecy Act. So they have the SARS, the suspicious activity report. I flagged every one, but now I guess the banks are just cooperating with the government, with the FBI.
Now
FBI, well, we think we look for any
straight
I think there might be terrorism. And of course, if you're a Trump supporter, you're a terrorist now. So.
Right. And apparently, even if you were just in Washington.
Yeah, if you're in Washington at the time,
3 days leading up to the 6th of January, that if you've purchased anything on a credit card in the Washington tri-state area from the 3rd to the 6th of January, then you are on an FBI list.
Right. So
and that's anyone that bought anything.
Right. Now, not if Antifa, it's okay. If you're out there burning down banks and burning down cities, that seems to be permissible. But
yeah, I mean, let's play this. I know that you know all this, but this is very informative for anyone who doesn't understand just exactly how this system is built to basically.
The show has obtained exclusively evidence that
2 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to play that. Yeah, we can
No,
clear that.
I've cut out maybe the 2 minutes. It's worth actually going through.
Right.
I mean, just for people who really think that the government does have their best interest in mind, then listen to and don't. Some people have problems believing just what the government is capable and willing to do. And if you are one of those,
well, you want to, if you have this idea, people want to believe that the government is good, and
exactly.
Even with this all the crap that was going on with Trump, the way the right approached it, Sean Hannity, well, it's just the top of the FBI that's corrupt. No, the FBI is corrupt from top to bottom.
Right.
It's just thoroughly corrupt.
Yeah.
And there are some that are less corrupt than others. But the biggest drug dealer in the world is and always has been the United States government.
Right. So
you may not want to accept that, but that became clear with Ronald Reagan. And you think that stopped your.
Oh, we're sharing. I'll play this now.
All right. Hey, guys, we lost a gold coin around.
This show has obtained exclusively evidence that Bank of America, the second largest bank in the country with more than 60 million customers, is actively but secretly engaged in the hunt for extremists in cooperation with the government. Bank of America is, without the knowledge or the consent of its...
2 seconds here.
So,
there we go.
Okay.
This show has obtained exclusively evidence that Bank of America, the second largest bank in the country with more than 60 million customers, is actively but secretly engaged in the hunt for extremists in cooperation with the government. Bank of America is, without the knowledge or the consent of its customers, sharing private information with federal law enforcement agencies. Bank of America effectively is acting as an intelligence agency, but they're not telling you about it. In the days after the January 6th riot at the Capitol, Bank of America went through its own customers' financial and transaction records, a lot of them. Now, these were the private records of Americans who had committed no crime, people who, as far as we know, had absolutely nothing to do with what happened at the Capitol on January 6th. But at the request of federal investigators, Bank of America searched its databases looking for people who fit a specific profile. Here's what that profile was, and we are quoting. Customers confirmed as transacting, either through bank account, debit card, or credit card, purchases in Washington, D.C. between January 5th and January 6th. Number 2, purchases made for hotels, Airbnb, RSVPs in Washington, Virginia, or Maryland after January 6th. Number 3, any purchase of weapons or at a weapons-related merchant between January 7th and their upcoming suspected stay in the D.C. area around Inauguration Day. And 4, airline-related purchases since January 6th, end quote. So what do you notice about that profile? Well, the first thing you notice is that
my life, so hopefully I never go back to the United States. I got to make a few more trips. Hopefully I don't get stuck over there for good, but it's still
I mean,
open.
the next thing is like COVID passports. There's all these things at play.
And right now, yeah, you can't fly into Mexico without from Mexico now without going through the quarantine, all that. But the border, as far as we're driving and walking,
I mean, coming
across
into Mexico isn't a problem, but when I go home now, I have to have a negative COVID test.
right. And you
But
can,
we need to
you
figure
can
that
fly
out
into Tijuana and walk across the border and you're fine. But if you fly in from Mexico to the U.S., now you've got, you got the COVID screening. So it's, and I look for even the border crossing to close down. The cool thing about Mexico, though, is Mexicans always figure out a way to work. They always have a workaround down here, and
there's ways of living down here that ensures you can do what you want.
And yeah, so
and we will get around to your YouTube questions, just in case you're wondering.
yeah. So anyway, what I teach is real simple. We build, and that is we save Bitcoin, and we start thinking in Bitcoin. And then
Bitcoin accepted here.
Yeah, and then we go, oh, that's our new sign. See that in back, guys? We just got that. We need to hang it somewhere. Yeah, and so yeah, we're just kind of making this into a museum now. Oh, I see you got our little screen back there. We do have a full node now. They can see that.
Yeah, we've got the full node running over here.
Over there. There it is. So we got a pinball machine here. Have you played the darts yet since you've been here?
No, the darts. I need to whoop someone's ass, and I'm an old bartender.
I used to play, yeah, but since I broke this finger, I'm embarrassing. I'm embarrashing playing.
It was all hot air, by the way. I'm shit at darts.
So, okay, so,
but yeah, we just wanted to jump on. We have a few.
Yeah, people are worried. The gold market cracked really hard yesterday. We can go look at it because I think that's what my members do. Guys, if you're, again, you don't need, I have this membership. I'm not coming down on the price. It's expensive, but it is a very kind of exclusive group. But you can get into it, and
what we're looking at is to find a way to make a more non-trading specific.
Yeah, we're kind of figuring out either writing a book. We're looking into that, or doing a living book. We're gonna get this thing going.
We're gonna try to make this appeal to a lot wider an audience,
and keep it simple. Traders. Keep it simple, stupid, because we're our member group. They really have gone to a new level. They're thinking correctly. And like I say, if you need me to hold your hand through a trade, you're not trading correctly. So everything is centered around money management. But we're not here to teach you trading. We're teaching you to hodl. And that's what the whole purpose of the dollar cost averaging is, which we'll be going into that very simply, because you got to get that through your head.
It's
really hard.
The hardest lesson.
We do not know where Bitcoin is going.
Right.
I mean, you're in uncharted territory. You've got some wonderful people that have done some great fundamental analysis, like Plan B and Willy Woo, and they can give you the back end. Wow. But this is all new. We don't know. And Bitcoin can, it may fail us. I don't think that it will, or I wouldn't be where I'm at. And it certainly has not failed me yet in any way, shape, or form. But until you've gone through that bear market, you really don't get it. And my view is, some people think that you're going to eventually get to the point where it becomes a standard and you won't see that volatility. And my view is that is possible, but we're a long way from it, because in order to do that, we really do need to have free banking in conjunction
with Bitcoin, and free banking can happen, but it's going to be free, and it will be it's going to be completely off grid. It's not going to be under any jurisdiction. Once you get into jurisdictions, you're still going to have to play whatever that game is.
And that's kind of the point. That's where sort of Bitcoin is unique in its ability to be shaped by the people who actually use it, not by the people who run the printing press.
And some of this, the difficulty is everybody wants to have it easy. It's not going to be easy if it's going to work.
No.
GBTC is not the future, guys. It's a trap. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange certificates, that is a trap. The only Bitcoin is Bitcoin. If you don't have Bitcoin, if it's not in your personal address, if you don't have full control of it,
it's not yours.
It's not yours. It's not Bitcoin.
If you don't have your private,
not
your keys, not your coin.
Right, because the fundamentals, we just need to emphasize again, it's unconfiscatable. Okay.
It's censorship resistant.
Censorship resistant. They can't keep me from doing my thing in Bitcoin. And third, it's
borderless.
Borderless. And borderless transfer of value. In other words, I don't have to worry about anyone. I can choose to go into jurisdictions. That's the difference, because that's the freedom that I have. But what I see evolving is going to be a banking system completely apart from government structures.
We don't need government structures anymore. We have controllable money. We have money we can take within
and it will be
control.
But like I say, that's what this is going to be about. And it's really important that and we're going to kind of have reputation Bitcoiners is what's going to happen too. I see that developing, and it'll be an anonymous reputation. Well, who's ugly old goat? Well, my identity is out there, but you guys,
it is now at least.
Yeah. And I don't recommend, if you don't have to get it, you have to wait.
I can sign up. I completely subscribe to that.
So
I wish today that I did not talk as much about it as I did back in the day.
Okay, so you don't need to go where I'm going. You don't need to go where Stefan is.
We just kind of put ourselves there.
Or we put ourselves there where Tone is, or we put ourselves there. And frankly, I'm glad to do it. Me
too. For all the shit that it's brought me, I am glad to have done it. But I don't know that I would have done it had I known back then.
And I don't know that I would recommend it to anybody.
No,
because it's
wouldn't.
going to be the fact that you've kept it off grid, that it's your thing that's going to.
Especially if you're one of the lucky ones who haven't been forced to buy on KYC exchanges and all these things. If you do have a completely anonymous identity as a Bitcoiner, I recommend that you hold on to that.
Right. So, and that's what we do here. If you do decide to become a member, you don't need to give us anything but an email address.
Right.
And you can give us more. We send out swag, so if you want to get the swag, so we send out some cups.
But we don't store any information. So if you go in and delete your information after we've sent you the swag, it's not kept in any databases. We don't use it for marketing purposes, all this bullshit.
Yeah, well, I don't know how all that works, but I do have, we think we have a pretty good system, but that's,
I'll at least,
everything is out, I don't know. I'm the first one to know. I have to trust people, and that's why we're building this organization. And I hope you can see where we're going with this. I mean, if you saw our first videos, guys, we just got a new camera. Look at the quality of this camera.
Yeah,
we got a new center camera.
Beautiful stuff.
It really is nice. So,
right. So should we look at the gold chart?
Okay, you can go look at the gold chart. Guys, I'm just very fundamentally bullish on gold and silver too, but much more so gold. And I think it's a very much of a long-term play. And I'm not trading it. I'm positioning myself in it.
And your entry is somewhere
about 1855, 1855. You're 1855, 54, right in there. That's kind of where I'm long. I'm not going to reveal any more about my position. I do reveal my position if you're a member.
If you're a member, you get full transparency on anything ugly trades at any time. But as we already said,
except when I'm cashing out, like I'm selling,
of course.
I'm selling Bitcoin to pay off my credit cards. I'm not going to show you that. I mean, I've kind of showed you how
we have done, but not for the it's not part of his trading.
That's just.
But yeah, we'll re-emphasize this again. It's not for people to follow his trades. It's for people to follow his strategy.
Oh, I was going to mention this. Pull up the monthly chart.
Right.
I didn't notice this, but just where you got stopped out, and I didn't notice. You always notice that, but notice how we took out last month's low. We took out the January low in February. You see it? Go to the 4, the green 4. Yeah. What is the January? Put it on the red 3. The red 3. There you go. That low is 1802. And then we took it out, went right down to 1785. That was between 1882 and 1785. That was the buy because you took out the previous month's low. Now I was looking to buy it back there on that green 2, but I was looking for the green 2 to take out the red 1 a little bit and never did. So this is a secondary place. This is really, I think, I might be wrong. This is a great point. That low yesterday, I mean, I was traveling and I go, oh shit, my underwear, I got some skid marks on my underwear, but.
I want to see the 4 hour because there was a lovely bottom on the CD indicator.
So guys, I mean, I'm a different kind of a trader. I'm sitting here and I got a pretty sizable, but I call this my mill. I told everybody this is the only trade I'm going to have to make all year, in my opinion. I'm going to probably trade in the Bitcoin a bit, but it's not my kind of market now. It's the Bitcoin is volatile. You're in a big contango. It's all going to be, it's a new ball game, and you always sense it. And that doesn't mean this thing can't just keep on going up. That's why you don't go short. You don't get rid of your HODL. But even though my HODL isn't as big as it once was, my wealth is overall wealth is much bigger because I have real estate property down here now. I've got all kinds of toys. We're building a studio, and so there's more to it than just hodling. You can hodl your whole life, and if you never sell anything, what good is it ever done you? You got to enjoy life too.
Absolutely.
So what questions do we have?
Right. Well, we have a question from a viewer. Let's pull this up real quick. Right. A viewer asks, if I sell property for 1 million now and buy 30-ish Bitcoin, when Bitcoin is at 300,000, assuming it gets there, will I be able to buy 9 of those properties? What I mean to ask,
we don't know. We don't know.
If BTC price are increasing, won't those property prices also?
No, because the
property price.
That's an old market. The Bitcoin's an emerging market.
Right.
It's
so
an
until we actually put ourselves completely on a Bitcoin standard, then that won't happen. As long as you're pricing a traditional market,
I gotta go pee, and then I got a story to tell.
Right. As long as you're pricing things in a traditional market, you're usually pricing it on an existing currency like dollars or whatever, right? You're not pricing it directly in Bitcoin. So you can say for if you're buying a subscription with Ugly, what you're saying is true, because he prices in Bitcoin and he doesn't adjust according to the dollar price. But unless you find someone who's willing to sell you their house for straight up Bitcoin and then not be and not care about the dollar notional value, it wouldn't make sense. Let's put it like that. Right now, it wouldn't make sense at all. So in theory, as long as house prices stays where they are and Bitcoin goes up, you are right. You would be able to buy 9 properties if Bitcoin went up 9 times. So yeah.
The story, the investor I have, and I think he might be a member. I just can't remember his name. I know when we're at the Bogota, Latin America Bitcoin conference in Bogota, 2017. There was a guy there, and he was so proud of he was from Argentina, and his son had a condo, and which was pretty well almost paid for. So he sold it and downsized, got a much smaller apartment, and bought the Bitcoin with it. And he did that when Bitcoin was about in 2016, it was about $500. And then at the time, because it was at the top of its pump, he could buy 20 condos now with the same amount of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is volatile, and so, but he was really proud. The mistake people make is like the guy that built his house here, I paid him 15% in Bitcoin. And I said, just hodl this thing. And I found out he hodled it. He made a little bit, but he sold it because he was going to buy it back cheaper. Now he can't.
Yeah. How did that work out for you?
Yeah, that doesn't work out.
Don't think you know where the market's going ever.
Yeah, and that's just, I trade the guys that people think I know, and that's the other thing too, that if you get my newsletter, what I teach is completely off the wall and difficult to understand, because the 90% you're looking, well, where's it going? Where do I buy and where do I sell? And I don't know. And I trade accordingly.
And anyone who tells you they know are full of shit.
So I'm the last guy to tell you I know where the market's going. But I think there are certain things. I'm fundamentally bullish Bitcoin for a whole lot of reasons. The back end technical, I just have to assume that a bit on faith because of the people that I know and trust, that Bitcoin does have a fixed supply. It's decentralized more than any other thing out there. It's the original. And it's
open source. So.
And then I'm also supported by the intellectuals involved. I think Ludwig von Mises and F.A. Hayek are of the school of value theory, and Hayek recognized that there would only be one standard, and those standards would be competing with government standards. Right. And I fell for, no, there needs to be competing standards. I think people are waking up now that it's just going to be the one standard. And that standard is going to be so independent, it's going to be the one that competes. And I think that in order for these governments now to reestablish credibility, they probably are going to go back to a gold standard, which will really, when that happens, you could really hammer Bitcoin for the long run. But that's a long way from happening. And Bitcoin would keep the gold standard honest, because they get out of line, that's going to be the governor on the gold standards. So, and right now, the confiscation of wealth is in your legacy accounts. The gold is not held by private citizens. It is held in private citizens, but they're not putting it in banks. They have their own little, store, all around the, in their possession. So confiscating gold is not going to do anything this time. But what is vulnerable is any legacy account. It's just like, we had that show at gym where, they open up their gym, so the state just comes in and seizes all their assets.
You've just seen now that Bank of America is giving away all your information for, any reason that the government basically decides. And I don't know if we're blaming Bank of America or
I don't think that's all the banks are that they have to.
It's the government.
If they get they're
it's easy to point fingers at the bank and say they're the bastards.
We live in fascism. All these things that say we live in a fascist state. We have government, we have private ownership, but government control. And the difference with Bitcoin is private ownership. Right. Private ownership without government control.
Exactly. And it is what gold would have hoped to be.
Right. And that gold still is. I'm not, a lot of, I see, the generation bought that they see that their parents stored gold. I mean, this book was really cool. It was written in 1983, and there was no silver boom, guys. It never boomed. this never boomed. It was, but a lot of the good stuff is still in this book. And now I think we are getting ready for a silver and gold boom. All right. Because this has been 30 years. This book was written in 1983. So
almost 40.
Yeah. Well, 83. Yeah. What 93, 30. It is almost 40 years old. This book is. Wow.
Is that older than me?
Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. I wanted to show my gold coin. I can't get.
Anyway,
don't switch the studio on me when I.
Oh God, no!
Don't do that again. No. It's somewhere.
I thought it looked.
I might have to buy a metal detector to find that.
I
don't know. Flip down somewhere.
It was standing by here, and he picked up the statue and dropped off.
I will look for it.
Yeah, we'll find it right after. Yeah. Anyway,
So
yeah, we covered the gold trade.
Yeah, I would say too, as you look at the gold, it's not confirmed. If this thing reverses, pull up the weekly chart. If this thing reverses, then you notice how everybody gets bearish at bottoms. That's how you blow out. That's what makes the bottom. Okay. Now, if this thing goes up and finishes strong this week, you took out the 2-week high, you took out the 2-week low. Now you go back up. It's a trading range, but now you go back up, and I think the whole picture is going to change. And I'm not saying it is. I don't know. It's not confirmed. Gold's not going up till you hit contract highs. I mean, for sure. But I think it's setting up for a huge move. And the reason we're looking at the monthly chart, and you've got a huge cup and handle here going, and we're on the right side of this handle. We're going to put up the monthly so people can see what we're talking about.
I mean, you can even see it on the weekly.
Yeah, you can see
not as pretty, but it's there.
But on the monthly chart, it's just
it screams.
That's an amazing thing. So if we start up from here, I think that's going to be the move everybody we were predicting back in 1983. It's going to happen now. And I don't believe in TA too much, but if you project this thing out and take it up, 18,000 gold is probably very realistic. I mean, 3,000 beat.
Nothing. It sounds crazy now, but
it sounds crazy now, but
so did 40,000 Bitcoin. I mean,
yeah. And the difference is, what I'm trying to teach here is, and this is what I think Michael Saylor is really emphasizing, because you have Bitcoin, you're going to be able to do things that other people can't.
Right.
There's going to be new things to develop. Now, most likely, I just hope that, in the past, right now, we've got a virus, we've got a pandemic, but the next thing that we might have.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to show a t-shirt real quick?
Oh, yeah. I'm a China virus survivor. There it is, guys. How do you like that?
Where did you get that one?
My son bought it for me.
Oh,
He
really?
got one. She got one
Nice.
for Anissa and my son. We all three got it, and we all survived.
Oh shit!
So-
Well, we all survived it. So
Well, you haven't had it yet.
no, I'm negative.
Yeah, I know
I
you're
know.
negative.
I-
Yeah.
me
Hey, you're not
too.
wearing a mask too. Okay.
I'm I didn't even notice your shirt. That's a nice shirt.
It
No,
is.
it's just
Good.
really fun. So anyway, I survived. Guys, I had it. I'm an old guy. I'm
You gotta have
71
a
years
laugh.
old. Yeah, so it was not like I've had a lot worse flu, but I will say this
We're
is
not
more of a
negating
lingering,
it. I mean,
more of a
your-
lingering
And your
thing.
wife was hit hard.
My wife was very.
It's a very serious thing, but it's not more serious.
It was
than-
very serious for her. It was never serious for me.
No, and it's a very serious thing. It's just not serious enough for us to stop living.
Yeah, and what bothers me more is I hope that the next thing we're not in for is a famine, because these are the things that I kind of expect. And if you notice, and here's the argument, the bearish case for gold right now, they are deliberately crashing the economy.
Right.
And so how useful is gold? Well, you know what? When it comes right down to it, you can't eat gold. Much more important, your gold is gonna, that's your gold and silver is for survival mode. And if our system breaks down, then you're gonna see a, a basic form of barter pop up. You don't want that. The thing that bothers me more, just as now you've seen a deliberate wrecking of the economy, is there going to be some kind of deliberate wrecking of necessities, like a famine. Because, for example, in the Soviet Union, under Khrushchev, the Ukraine was starved. It wasn't because they weren't producing; they were just deliberately starved to death. And this is what's happening more and more, in the United States. And the problem is,
I mean, how many people?
How do you not roll over for it? I mean, you might have a militia, but what good is that going to do when they can come in and target you, and you're the new terrorist, and they're going to take you out, just like they did on, you go look at the old WikiLeaks where you're now the terrorist,
right?
And you just all of a sudden going to be dust. Well, what happened to him? He just
don't ask.
Aliens came from the sky, and he just went kapoop, and he got microwaved. Or
that's how it works, right? The problem is you'll get to a point where you can't even ask what happened to people, because it'll happen to you then. It's and it sounds horrible. It sounds dystopian, and it sounds all these terrible things. But if you trust your government, you just don't know history. I don't know. We went through this as conspiracy theorists from the 90s. I remember people pointing fingers and laughing at us and all these things.
Yeah, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I mean, I'm a student of E.C. Harwood, and if you address his book, and The Money Mirage actually addressed all the conspiracies, and he said, well, okay, Bilderbergers and Fabian Social and all this, but they're not very smart.
No.
And of course, I come from a Christian point of view. Ultimately, the Lord is still in control. And that's what I believe in the sovereignty of God, that you think, the devil, he it's like Job. Go ahead. You can torture Job all you want. You just can't, hurt him physically. And so he did it, took everything away, took his children, took his wealth, and then said, well, Lord, you put this restriction on me. You got to let me hurt him. And it says, okay, you can do anything you want physically, but you can't kill him. And, and so he got all infested with boils and sitting there, and he's sitting there, why am I doing? And his friends, oh, well, you must have committed some sin. And the Lord, he says, no. I said, no, I haven't. But it says, but where else can I go? As bad as it is now, if this is what I'm supposed to be, this is what I'm supposed to be. And the same thing with Paul when he said, a sin actually points you to Christ. And he says, if I could, I would give my life for my people, but I can't, praise be to God, because he recognized I have nothing to do with it. If you're born again, just as we're chosen not to be born, we can't choose to be born again. And so, but we're given a promise. If it's that faith. And but we think you take away free choice. Well, I'm not. That was a big debate back in the Reformation days, when that was the book that Martin Luther was most proud of, was The Bondage of the Will. And it was
I like this comment. I survived Covfefe 45.
What's that?
Covfefe was that weird tweet that Trump made by mistake one time.
Oh yeah. I haven't heard of that one. Okay.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I got shut down at Bank of America a long time ago. And they were very terrible to work with, because when they shut down my account, I couldn't even access all of my digital bank statements. Don't think there is a worthwhile thing to taking these paper statements, because when they shut down my Bank of America, I had to threaten suit. And then I couldn't log in and download them. They sent them to me. And what a pain in the ass that was.
Yeah.
And now I had other banks that were very good. US Bank, they were the first to shut me down. They gave me like 30 or 60 days. And I said, Mr. Brown, we're sorry, because I was a good customer. I said, and they couldn't officially tell me that, but I got on the phone and said, well, here's the real reason that you got shut down. Oh, I didn't even realize it. And that's when I went and read the Bank Secrecy Act. I go, you know, they have to make these reports and they're prohibited from telling you they're doing it. So even though I ask them, they're not going to tell me.
So this is this is one of the only industries where the customer isn't the main priority.
Yeah, and the bank secrecy it's not protecting you. I guarantee you that.
Oh no, it's not made for you at all.
And it is a surveillance mechanism.
And if if that clip with Tucker Carlson didn't point that out to you, we cannot make it clearer.
Well, that's what I say. I was not surprised. I've known due process has been gone in the United States forever, but that's what I think the election woke up. A lot of people, there's no way we can. I mean, look, we can't get discovery. You're right. You can't. There's no due process. You're beat, guys. It's already beat.
The erosion of American civil liberties started way back. This isn't new. This is an incremental. This is just the latest increment in a long evolution of taking away your liberties.
Yeah, and there was a big argument at the time, and that's why they didn't even, as far as the Bill of Rights, there was the Federalist argument that we don't need to enumerate those, because if we enumerate them, now you've identified what people are going to try and take away from you, which they've done.
Right.
Basically, the Bill of Rights are pretty well shot and I thought, until last year, we still thought we had freedom of speech, and we're recognizing.
Did you?
Well, I think it didn't become evident until with the the new oligarchy of the technocrat oligarchy. So, guys, I don't have a solution for you. If you're new, first time you tuned in, go to our website, uglyoldgoat.com. I have all kinds of articles there. They're all free. The lead article is probably the best one to go to because it shows you dollar cost averaging
and the
results. And it requires a great deal of discipline. And it will give you a great deal of reward. Yes. I had a few things I found mostly on Twitter that I found interesting. This one is worth taking a look at, maybe. Let me share the screen real quick. Oh, I think. So this is a price model, price to time model by Hugo Ramos at Hugo Ramos on Twitter. I just found it interesting, and he wanted to hear people's take on it. So this price model puts us at above 120,000, somewhere between. You're not overbought till you get up there to 360. Right, exactly. And his argument is that we're looking more of a price discovery like 2013, as in here, rather than what happened in 2017 going into 18. So right, no, and I agree with that. We are in a new, but this whole thing is I'm just having a hard time. We're not going to sell off, but it kind of looks like we're just not. It's just my problem with it is, guys, if you're trading, and I'm a big buyer in BitMEX, I don't like paying a big contango. Right. It just because it's a speculative, very risky market. So I'm not going to be. I will not have a position on like I had before. When it goes into a backwardization, and you saw me last year, I had on. That's when you were balls to the wall. Yeah, I would when I had $600,000 worth, and that was small because I used to have millions on, but I didn't ever have a big one. But I did run a very small amount into a very large amount. I don't see that opportunity in Bitcoin now. It's going to be volatile, and maybe it's just going to keep going. You just buy it and close your eyes. I got my HODL. That's fine. That's fine. What I don't want to do is risk very much of that HODL. That's the whole key to this thing right now. If you don't have a HODL, you got no choice. You get in there, and it's a money management deal. Take your whole portfolio, take your whole net worth, and I won't hesitate. Say, you know what? Even though the price is $30,000 or $40,000, put 15% of whatever you have into Bitcoin, and then start hodling after that. So make that kind of a commitment. Because if you have all your wealth in your home and legacy accounts, you are extremely vulnerable.
Then you are exposed.
Now you're exposed. That's the risk. That's the risk that you don't want to be.
Then you're at complete will of the system. You're entrusting every single asset.
And at least that Bitcoin will get you out. And you may not be able to get out, but they're not going to be able to take all your. And then that might be, like say, we're going to need to make a run with our machines to go pick you up at the border.
We will.
We can do it.
We will do it.
So,
and I think that's the beauty of the Bitcoin community. We all sort of realize what asset it is we're putting our faith into, because as Joe said in our little.
But I feel like I'm the cannon fodder. You know what? You guys need to be behind the lines. You need to start getting out and build your little refuges all over the world. I've chosen Mexico. Okay. And we're going to be visiting other parts of Mexico. Hey, Nisa just says we're going to do a trip to Chihuahua, that's supposed to be the real, you know what? I don't have a problem with the real dangerous areas. But it's kind of like I've been in max security, and it's how you handle yourself.
It's all about how you carry yourself in the world. There's so many things.
And, like say, that's why I don't get it. Like Dungeons and Dragons. I can always laugh at that because I played Dungeons and Dragons for real. And so the virtual, you guys are, if you're too much into that virtual reality, come down here and I'll smack you across the face and I'll do like, what part of HODL don't you understand? I wish I just had, what part of no don't you know? Man. I can't believe how hard this is.
I know. And
This is
carbon as well.
Oh,
it used to be
geez.
solid steel, but that one's really.
Oh, this is
a meanie.
This is rough. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just nasty. You want to?
I'm good.
You take this home to your kids.
The Spanish police used to carry them around.
You know what?
No, I don't think
I'm going to teach you. You have a problem hodling? I'll teach you. Let me show you what
part.
part.
My wife sees that, she'll probably whoop me with
I was going to say, you're going to get it.
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, yeah. No, I like this. Woo,
That's good.
Man. This is my new pointer. Yeah. I wonder, do you think they'd let me take this on an airline?
No, absolutely not. Do you need me to tell you that?
Can't do it, huh?
No.
I can put it in my baggage, all right.
You can check it in, yeah.
Check it in. All right. Well, that's it. 'Cause, yeah, definitely. If I ever talk at a conference, this will be my pointer.
I like it.
All right. So, okay. Yeah, and these are the old models. If you want to see some of the models where people think it's going, Plan B and Willie Woo, those are two guys I don't mind plugging at all because they've been right on. And it's just, you can't trade that kind of thing. You need to just hodl it. I mean,
That's what hodling is for.
That's what hodling is, guys. I've made and then when you trade, you just trade a small part of your hodl and it'll take us, you may never get a hang of it. If trading is not for you, that's okay. But you can do it and you can do it very long term. I mean, I know some very successful traders that have only do a few trades a year. That's kind of maybe where I'm hoping I can go this year. I want to show people there's different ways to make it trading. There's no formula. There's no plug and play.
No, it's, everyone has their own approach, but the main parts of that approach should.
And there's different, and everybody has a different tolerance level. Some people, I don't like the little short-term swing trading because I've always made my bones out of position.
I'm done with that, luckily, but I mean,
some
people really enjoy it, and
I would like maybe some for fun, but I just feel like I have too many other things to do for fun. I really want to look at Joe Satz's his system because now that's new stuff. But guys, we just had him on the show. If you didn't see that, I don't know if we had that public or not.
It's not public yet, but if Joe tweeted it out, I'll make it public.
Yeah.
If not, we'll have him on another
We have
time.
to edit it. I want to make sure we don't.
Yeah. I have to make sure he's all right.
Well, I need to make sure that nobody else. I think she tweeted it out. That's why I was a little bit worried.
I mean, I have
The public shows, when we have the Silicon group, guys, if you become a member, you can actually like participate with us. And sometimes these guys do. And you don't have to identify yourself, but you get the Zoom link.
Right.
And then you can come in and we just kind of shoot the breeze.
No, I don't see him having tweeted.
What was that one? Had Mike Skizer, who was on the School Up? What's that one about? Mike Skizer, oh, there they are. If you need a tax loss,
call Peter Sheffield, lose your money quick.
I like Peter Schiff. I don't get as bad as he is. He does, he does understand.
He's better than a federale.
And yeah, there he is. Joe Satz is now CEO of Embly, and this is really cool, man.
That's impressive. Yeah, but no, he hasn't tweeted it out, so it's still just for members. But yeah, we had a good talk with Joe the other day about short-term versus.
I see you guys went on for like 7 hours, all drunk.
Yeah.
No, we weren't drunk. We were enjoying some fine tequila.
It was
really
so that
good.
tequila.
And then you put aside. We'll be back. Going to get some lunch.
I know, and they stayed online.
They stayed on?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
we had
yeah.
like 6 or 8 people still when we came back.
Where's that? There was a crystal tequila. Where's that bottle? I'll show it to you. That was really good. And I put it up there somewhere. I think maybe it's on that table back there, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Is it this one?
Yep.
Yeah, but get the bottle.
It's
It was
in here.
because it was a crystal. Is it in there?
Yep.
The bottle? Yeah,
This
that's
took
on.
7 hours in a stream to kill.
This was really an excellent, and but it was an anejo crystal,
Right.
and I've never had an. I really I like the Raspado, the dark, but I've never had an anejo crystal. It was excellent. It was, I was very impressed. So I don't know if we need to do anything more. Do we have anything?
I
more?
had a few, just some. This was an interesting comment I saw on Twitter. Senator Loomis, I'm not entirely sure who it is, but I knew there was a Bitcoiner in the Senate now, and now they're on the banking committee.
But that's not that big, guys. Bitcoin's not politics. We don't need the politics. This is not necessarily
True, it could be.
I get it, and I'm sorry, but you know what? This needs to be apart from the political.
So
it really does.
Senator Loomis, we can assume,
because
is probably a GBCC fan, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole thing is, are you going to if you have a IRA or a retirement account, you partnered up with the government, say, yeah, okay, we're going to give you this special benefit we can take away at any time to keep you in our system.
Yeah.
And that's the centralized control. You know what you need? Here's what I teach. I never went to the fundamental. We went to the technical fundamentals of Bitcoin itself, but the real fundamentals is not Bitcoin, guys.
Sound money.
It's sound. The real technicals is the 3 greatest swindles of all time, which we've been going on for 4 generations. And number 1 is inflation. We've been inflating the currency since we created the Fed in 2013.
Yeah.
The second part of the swindle is E.C. Harwood called it Social Security, but it's really the entitlement system. Now they want to, I think, who was it? Mitt Romney wants to give, $350 a month for every child that you have. They want to forgive student loans. So if why pay off your student loan if they're going to forgive it?
Mm-hmm.
And what about all these people that worked hard and paid off their student loan?
That's where I have a problem.
What's going on here? And then the third, so that's it. And the third thing is the regulation. Everything is regulated. There's nothing that isn't touched by the governments nowadays. And so Bitcoin is not. And so that is what makes it unique. And your task ahead is, how do you get rid of all this stuff, in the coming generation? And it's not going to be easy. That's why I want to get that economist on, what was his name?
On
No, not the other guy. He's a private mint. The guy that wrote for AI here. He hasn't answered yet. I want to get him on because he was offering solutions, but the solution is legislative. And the Bitcoin, we can do these things, and we don't need legislation. We don't need to
ask anyone's permission for anything.
Yeah, and we don't need to legislate the central bank out of existence.
No, we just stop using it.
Just go around it. It's an end run. The same thing with income tax. Well, get yourself in different jurisdictions, because you're still gonna have to pay the taxes of those jurisdictions. But if you have this economy that's completely outside of all jurisdictions,
right? If everyone starts actually taking their payments in Bitcoin and taking their salaries in Bitcoin and all these things, then all of a sudden it becomes more of a personal choice.
of course, the government's going to want to claim it just because they think they own you.
Right.
So it's
So
like
how far you want to push it on the
So don't go where we're going. Don't become a public figure if
No.
you're in this thing.
Really not. I won't recommend that.
You know, we've made that commitment, and I just we've taken our stand and say, okay, there's the hill we'll die on. But
Yeah.
but I don't recommend.
And I think it's worth dying on for all the people.
I don't have a problem with it.
I will.
I probably would if I was your age, but I'm old enough. You know,
I'd prefer not to die for it if I can get away with it. But yeah, I had a few other things here. Let's see, this was a funny one I found. Yesterday, I saw that another one of the smart contracts for a DeFi thing had been hacked and drained for 11 million. And I found this very, very funny, that they have disabled deposits into their decentralized finance contract. So what's decentralized about it if they can turn something off?
yeah. Wow, that's amazing. It's decentralized, so we just shut it down. Who shut it down?
The people who wrote it. So there's not. It's clear to people that know. I just found it. I found it entertaining. Here was an interesting stat from Michael Saylor with regard to his Bitcoin for Corporations conference. They've maxed out their online service provider for the online event with more than 20,000 late registrations and more than 5,500 of them for the Bitcoin for Corporations track alone. So there is definite interest in from corporations and entities that aren't private in Bitcoin. This was from the first day of the conference, and some of the numbers they mentioned were absolutely staggering. One of his interviewees estimated that there will be 25 billion US dollars of institutional money in Bitcoin by the end of the year. Now, if that's true, I don't see the number. And this was, this was from Michael Saylor's initial interview, one of the first interviews from day one. Ross Stevens, financial advisor, large scale financial advisor.
25 billion?
Billion.
Wow.
See, I told you there was some staggering numbers.
Wow, that is what? I don't know who Ross Stevens is.
He's a financial advisor for big corporations and funds.
Guys, there are big players out there. I know
and they're
that.
looking at this, and they're already getting in. So if you don't have your HODL, now is not a bad time to get it.
Wow, I didn't. Yeah, and I wanted to watch that. Maybe when we drive up to Rosario today, we can just tune in on my iPhone and start listening to some of those. I mean, I signed up for it, but I just, how it is, I didn't have time to look for it. So I know Pomp did a little summary of it. I think other people have got summaries, but I mean, I kind of know where they're just at a different level than I am. I'm not here for, it's just like, I have no interest in ever trading for a hedge fund. That's just,
no. I mean, you wouldn't trade for anyone.
I don't want to trade for anyone. And why would you want to?
I never really understood the
so it's mainly because I guess
I've only had bad experiences with it.
Yeah, I don't know, and they don't make the returns that I've made.
No, you have to be much more conservative if you're playing with other people's money. You can't take the same risks. It takes away the fun of trading.
Okay. Thanks always. When you talk about trading style, would love to hear your opining sometime about what kind of event has caused you to switch your position. I recall you saying that you can turn around very quickly. Oh. That's at the moment, but okay. Myanmar.
That's the Chinese. That's where the Chinese are basically slaughtering people.
Huh?
That's where the Chinese are basically slaughtering people. Myanmar is
really.
It's a very controversial province.
Is it part of China? Is it its own country?
Well, China says it is, and they don't, which is the problem, right?
Wow.
It's a horrible thing. It's a terrible situation down there. It has been for many, many years, and it's one of the situations.
Well, where's it located? Where?
It's
I should know these things.
It's absolutely disgusting.
Burma.
Yeah,
okay,
Burma.
Burma.
Myanmar is the native name for Burma.
Right.
So that's what they call it. Yeah. It's just.
But okay. I need to go look at this stuff. The Guardian. We're not brainwashed. Okay.
I mean, these are the things that you won't be allowed to demonstrate for in the Western civilized world. I remember there was a I think it was a World Trade Organization meeting in Denmark at one point, and the Chinese minister, etc., was coming there, and we had a lot of people, socially conscious people in Denmark who know about this situation. And
so who's the coup?
And
a good coup or bad coup or?
Well,
or just
what do you
another
mean?
Coup? And they said they just had a coup.
Oh no, I mean the Chinese are basically just slaughtering the Burmese people. It's a genocide, or it was at one point.
Wow, I need to get on that.
So yeah, it's that is not all the best to you, Richard. I mean, hope you're doing all right.
All right.
Bitcoin is definitely for you. I mean.
All right.
But yeah, to answer his question, your opinion on what?
Well, I mean, like I switched. What switched me from was when we hit contract highs and went into the big contango. I haven't figured out. All I know is the market has changed substantially. So you know what? I missed the move from 20 to 40,000.
That's no, Margaret. I'm not. It's a different situation, but it's comparable.
I don't know. You know what?
No, I know
Burma.
The Uyghurs are a completely
right
different, a completely different situation. They're being heavily oppressed within the Chinese country, or within China. This is China oppressing Myanmar.
Man, I hope we don't have to come pick you up either. But the thing is, and we're not going to unless you got some Bitcoin, because we're going to be risking our little asses. And it's not cheap taking these cars out.
I might have overstated something or been wrong about something with the Burmese situation or the Myanmar situation, but I know it's a terrible situation. I can't remember the details. It might not have been.
All right, so stop speaking out of your ignorance. And you know what? I don't claim. When I know I don't know, I don't. You just need to leave it there until I start looking at it, researching it more. But yeah, I forgot Myanmar is Burma, and that's always been on the. I mean, it was World War II. We started fighting in Burma before we ever fought with the Japanese.
What I remember about it is there was things going on in Myanmar that the general public wasn't happy with in Denmark, and they were protesting at a WTO conference where the Chinese were present. And the Danish police were taking away protesters who were holding up anti-Chinese rhetoric signs and etc. And because they didn't want to offend the nice Chinese people or delegation who were there.
Right.
It's more important to oppress our own citizens than to let China know what we actually thought.
Okay. Hey, we need to end this thing up because the goat lady has some plans for us this afternoon.
Let's see. I think, there was nothing really. Yeah, that was the last one. So that wraps that up. Do you want to take a look at Bitcoin real quick?
I don't care. You can. I don't.
Just to see,
I'm not trading. I have a very small, short speculative position that's in a loss. I've done nothing but lose trading this year so far. Take it to the 30 minute. There you go. Okay, not there, nothing there. Scroll it out. How big are we? Okay. Yeah, oh, look, you
we're
got a
setting higher
9.
lows.
You got
higher
a 9
highs.
there on the 30-minute. I should be trading this thing, but I'm just not. I'm sitting here. Check out the and look at the daily. Let's look at the daily.
I'm trading to both sides right now.
Oh, you got a 9
got
sell right
daily
there.
9.
Okay. And I am a little short. I think we've got to have a correction, but who knows?
But who knows if 25 billion is going to flow in by the end of the year?
And I do think that it'll be if we get the sell off, maybe that's going to pop the gold, because I do notice they seem to be contracycling each other right now. And I'm not saying, gold's not Bitcoin, guys, but Bitcoin's not gold either. They each have their own use. What I am saying is once you have your HODL, you have a whole lot more freedom to move around and do things. And one thing I am doing, I'm collecting my own coins that I produced 40 years ago, and it's just fun. And they're hard to find, and when I find them, I just buy them.
I mean, I knew that they had an interesting story when I came down here, but I'm finding out more and more as I'm here. And this.
I'm going to take this chapter, and I'll be updating, because this says it better. I had to buy the book because I used to write a monthly newsletter.
Right.
So I don't know if anybody ever kept that collection. I've always wanted to get a hold of American Institute, because they always filed things away, and they might have a file of all my old newsletters. Huh?
What do we do, guys?
I don't know. Tell us why you're thumbing us down.
What?
Yeah. We got 2 thumbs down on the YouTube.
Oh, some people are just fun.
That's
some
all
people
right.
just hate us.
That's all right. I'm surprised we don't get 90-1 thumbs down. I'd feel more comfortable if only 10% gave us a thumbs up.
That's trading against the box. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't have any more.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Tone says the daily 9's bullish because it's a consolidation. Now, guys, you can read a market any way you want. It's got nothing to do with where it's going. It's how you're going to trade it. And you know what? Doesn't matter whether you go long or short in here. You just have to do it the right way. So, and all right. Well, we got work to do.
Let me
and
check.
Stefan leaves on Monday, so it's going to be a sad day, but he's pretty sure he's coming back.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he sees the potential here.
Oh, I do for sure. I do. And
we're having fun, and these guys are all excited. Plus, if you saw in the beginning,
the video. With,
you want to go ahead and show it now.
Well,
you could. Okay, go back and watch it. Not. It was the first one or the second one.
My video was the second one.
Yeah, the second one. And so, the first one was done by Ernesto here. And we got another camera. We're getting better. We got a long way to go. I'm in no hurry. We're not promoting Ugly Old Goat. I'm not promoting the newsletter or membership. If you want to get a membership, sign up to an existing member. Just say, hey, I want to sign up. Can somebody send me their referral code? And you'll get 15%. You can use Stefan's, you can use Juan Galt, you can use Tone Vays. They all have referral codes. All of our members have referral codes, and you'll get a 15% discount. They get 10%. Everything that I get on this thing, we're building an organization. We don't know what kind of an organization yet.
We don't know exactly what structure is going to be, but we
know that needs to be done. And one of the things that I envision is I want this to be a place where people can come down, and it's an escape. And also, hopefully, we can get this studio so it's a mobile studio, and people can see the high quality of stuff that we do. And so these conferences will want to invite Ugly Old Goat and his camera crew to cover their conference. And that's kind of my vision. I don't know. We'll see.
See what happens.
Because I definitely believe that we have to be offering a service that people really want. And I just think I have the right group of people in here Juan Galt, he's still down in Colombia and probably gonna stay there. He
Yeah,
doesn't know.
sounds like he's gonna stay there.
So, and that's fine too. He's up and coming journalist, that I want to support. So we just need to work out all the details and how, where we're going to go with this. And I don't have all the answers, and I couldn't do it without Bitcoin, and I can't do it without a whole bunch of support, crew behind me, because I know what I know, but most of the stuff I don't know. Wow, look at that, the green 9. So, but he doesn't think this is a green 9 that you have to honor, and he could be.
Well, he said he expected a short correction. I heard
a short correction.
But,
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
So, yeah. No questions. There's a long question in the Ask Me Anything, but we'll come to that on a private stream, on a member stream. We're going to stick with public questions.
Yeah, we haven't asked me anything. Once you're a member, you can ask me anything, and I do address it. We have a Telegram group that's it's very restrictive. We don't talk about TA at all. If you do, they'll kick you off. We do have a troll box just for ugly old goat members.
Yeah, I think we answered that one.
And
so yeah, it's all good. We went through it all.
It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. The Void. The Void. There we are.
Really cool studio, camera, audio. Yeah. You just the content sucks, but you got 2 idiots here.
You've got what? Imaginative idiots.
Imaginative idiots. So yeah, at least we're gonna look good, even though the content sucks. How's that? But it's got that packaging is everything, guys. You have to not just we need to have the content, but also we got to deliver this right. I'm just glad I'm in a position to be able to bring this about, and we just building.
I'm
this
happy
thing.
to be a part of it.
It's fun. It's fun. So we need to go. Hopefully, get on those cars a little bit this weekend. But all right.
If not, there'll be plenty of time.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. And
hodl.
Save, build, sound money. We'll see you. Okay.